Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and get started. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to just introduce myself and then share the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Okay. Hi, I'm Lisa Prudden. I'm the CTE coordinator at Brighton High School. And last year during the shutdown, I was really struggling to connect with my students. They were not responding to emails. And I decided to make, Karma, can you make it so I can share my screen, please? Thank you. I made a Canvas page to help keep all the concurrent enrollment students informed of what was going on.
Will you see if that works now?
Yep, it works. Thank you. There we go. Okay, and you don't want to see my email, but there we go. Here's my concurrent enrollment page. Okay, so I'm going to show you actually the one, I've copied it. This is for this coming school year because I have changed out a few things. Just information on where to find me in the building. And then the modules are really a way just to walk the kids through. As I mentioned, they weren't checking their email. Most of the kids, when they get an invite or there's an assignment on Canvas, it sends them an alert to their phone. So I was getting a better response. And as my own children said, it needs to be dummy proof. So that's what I really tried to do, was make it dummy proof to walk through. So I just have a little getting started, what they're going to need to get started. As we know, it makes it easier if you have your social security number. If you don't, you can still work. But I try and have the kids have their social and their SSID. I have a little walkthrough. I don't know if everyone has Skyward or not, but an easy little way to find their SSID number. Then we created a fake SSID number for all those kids. I have to show you my favorite part. So this was how to enroll. And we tried to remind the kids that it takes a little bit, the website takes a minute to load, so just be patient. My own son was my guinea pig and was getting frustrated. So as he typed in his own information, he spelled his own name incorrectly. So there you go. That's my favorite part so far. But what I've done with these, we've created a PowerPoint for each of the steps that we think the kids need to go along with. I've also put all of Becky's fabulous PowerPoints in as well. Hers have some better graphics than mine, so I like to include those. But we really just tried to make it anything the kids would need to go through and get enrolled in the college. One thing that's a little bit different, because Brighton is on the trimester, Becky is a saint to work with us and process all of our forms for second and third try. So I have only the kids for first trimester can actually register themselves for courses. So I do have that information. But if they're in second or third try, we have to do a late registration form on them. So I have to have a little hold on that for them. We have all the placement tests. And have we heard, are we still going to do online placement tests for a while? I think Becky's trying to say something.
I'm trying to unmute myself here. Yes, as far as I know, they're still doing online. They are moving towards it's basically the same test, but it'll be through Canvas, so it'll still be online.
Oh, fabulous.
But I think they're gonna kind of try it with the traditional students, and then if it works well, then
I love it.
They'll bring the concurrent enrollment students on that. But yeah, that's the only changes I know of for testing.
Perfect. Thank you. And that placement testing has been so nice that the kids can schedule it and do it on their own, because we have had so many kids coming in and out with quarantine and online. It's so much easier. I have a little pay your tuition. Oh, there's a typo on there, I see. But let's skip over this. One thing I did for my students, just so they knew all the classes that we offer at Brighton, how many credit hours they're getting and what the cost is with that. I have a very generous principal who is happy to help pay the cost for any student who wants to take concurrent that can't afford it. So it's something that's really nice for us so that all of our kids can take the classes that they want. Okay. We have a lot of kids that use their AP Lang score to count for English 1010. So we have a little tutorial to make sure that that score has been received. I actually think it's a great deal for all the kids to send their AP scores over so that it's automatically transferred into credit, not just an AP score. I think it's just beneficial for everybody. The one thing I am going to add, and we were making a note of this, we're going to add a how to do concurrent on campus tutorial. I think with the new scholarship, the Opportunity Scholarship Replacing Regents, we're going to have a lot of kids taking science classes on campus because we can't get our teachers approved for that, which is fine. It's fine. Take an AP or just go to the college and take it. But I think it'll be nice to have a little tutorial. So I think that's one of my upcoming Friday assignments to do that. But I wanted to show one thing that has just been a lifesaver to us, not only because we have to do the forms for second and third trimester, but just all the kids that have been out because of the quarantine, et cetera. So we have used an app called Kami. It's Kami, and I'll show you here in a second how to add it into your Canvas. But we uploaded our registration form into the, we made it an assignment here in the Canvas page. And then by going to text box over here, students can click on, type their name, they can type their S numbers in whatever class they're taking. And then if they scroll down to the bottom, they can draw their own signature. And it works from their phones, it works from their Chromebooks. It's worked really well. And then they can just sign. Oh, I've already signed once. There we go, my little scribble. And then put their date in and it's all good. And then if they submit it, so hitting the save button right here, it saves it as an assignment. So I'll save this one just so you can see what it looks like. I'll say save now. There we go. My internet's taking a minute. I have to move these pictures over. Okay. And then if I go up to my speed grader, it should show that that uploaded. I'm sorry, my internet's being slow. Let's see if I can find myself. Well, I'll just show you one of the students. So Anastasia, here's hers. And then I was able to download all of these and then just email them right to Becky. And it made it so nice. So this is an easy way if you have a student that has to do a dropper or withdrawal and they're not in the building anymore, it's really easy to add this in. So let me show you. I have to close speed grader and I have to remember how to do that. Since I'm not in the classroom anymore, I'm not as efficient with my Canvas. Okay, there's the grades. Let's go back to dashboard. Okay, so if you're in your class and you come down to settings at the bottom, and then up here across the top under apps, there are a ton that you can add in. And some districts are much more involved with paying for apps, some are not, but you can just search through. So here's all the ones. Some of these our district just automatically downloads for us, but it's Kami, Kami, and it makes it so easy to be able to annotate, edit any PDF. So we've been using it, our fax department, they have workbooks for the foods classes. Everything is in their Canvas now. They don't have a physical workbook. They have everything on Kami, which is so nice. It makes it easier for some of the math classes because math is hard on Canvas, as well as our English 1010 and 2010. They're doing all of their annotating on Kami now, which makes it really nice because it's all here. And I don't have the papers, which is just a lifesaver. So I love not having the papers around. So I'm happy to share my Canvas page with anyone. I would just ask that you copy it and export it so that things don't get changed. We, in our own district, I was sharing it around, and there's this one slide that says, if you need help paying, come see Mrs. Prudden. And I got a phone call from a student and I couldn't find him on Skyward. I was like, what? They were a student at a different high school. And so I said, this is who you need to go contact. They'll happily pay for you as well, though. We'll take care of you. So that's my Canvas page. And yeah, any questions?
Lisa, so how do the students access it? Do they log into their Canvas and then
I have to invite them. And this is one thing that takes a little bit of time. So thank you, Brandon. I forgot to talk about that. If you go under people, and you can see I've disabled a bunch of these because kids don't need to see all of this information. But if you go to people, I'm sorry, I have to move the pictures here again. You can just search to add people. And I typically just run a report of kids who have signed up for concurrent, and then I can add their email, their school email address, and then I can just enter all of those. So if I wanted, I think Becky's already in here, but we could just add Becky again. And then you can choose what you want to do. If you want them to be a teacher, if you just want them to be an observer. So we have a lot of parents that are signed in as observers. Our district, the achievement coaches can sign in, which is really nice, so they can see what's going on with the Canvas pages, make comments, things like that. And then you just submit. So here, we'll just show you. It'll probably say, you've already added Becky, but okay, we'll make her a teacher. And you can just ignore that, Becky, that you get another one. But then they just show up that way. And it's nice to see on here, I can tell also how long the kids have spent in Canvas. So when they tell me that they, oh no, I was on there for hours and I couldn't figure out what you were talking about. You were on for 8 minutes and 23 seconds. So I don't know what you were talking about, Anastasia. I'm going to just give you a little bit with that. And when I was in the classroom, that was helpful too, to say to teachers. So, but yes, that's the only time consuming thing. I know that in Granite District, some of the coordinators had just sent it out to their teachers and were having their teachers add their own students. I was just trying to take anything off my teacher's plate that I could, because as we know, with all the craziness, nobody needs one more job. So this was something that was easy for me to do. And it made me feel better because I just felt like we were going to be in a better place in the fall to have kids be ready to go. And I'm getting ready. Monday, we're going to launch out the new one, send out letters to kids through the Canvas page. Who needs to take a placement test, who needs to get a no grade filled so they have credit for their math. Oh, you took a P in math last spring during the closure, you need to test into math. We're going to get all that stuff taken care of starting next week. So it'll be interesting to see how it works, because now I can actually call kids down if they don't follow through on things.
Lisa, can you also just share the address of the Canvas course? Okay.
Yes, let me go. I'm going to share my new one because it's better. My old one had some assignments that I also had to do. And so I've taken most of those off. Course details. Okay, I'll copy it and put it in the chat so that we have that. Do I have to stop sharing to see the chat?
I don't know.
Oh, no, I don't. Okay.
But then could you also just share this with a student rather than invite them through email?
I could. I found that when I shared it, oh, I think I sent that right to, sorry, Vicki, I sent that right to you because I don't know how to send it to everyone. I'll figure that out. I found that if I shared it with a student through our school email addresses or CSD docs. If I shared it directly to the student that way, most of them were not accepting. So I found that if I took the extra step and added them automatically, then they were more likely to accept the course, and I could send out announcements, and parents were getting those as well. It just made it a little bit easier.
Great.
Have you had lots of students using it, or do you find that the majority are using it, or do you have
The
to?
majority are using, I have about 350 on there right now. And it's been interesting. I have missed a few. Like I'm like, oh, let me quick send you an invitation. But it's been really nice so that the parents can see as well. Because as we know, a lot of the parents go in and do the application and, you know, do all the steps for the student. And so then they can see everything going as well. So that's been nice. I also added all of my teachers to it. And so all of the concurrent teachers have access. Most of them do not use it. They just say, go to the Canvas page or go see Mrs. Prudden. And then we can hopefully get them set up that way as well.
And have you noticed a change between using this or like compared to before, trying to get students to do what they needed to do versus after, once the Canvas course exists? Have you noticed a big change or a
So
large?
only anecdotal. See, I would love to have hard data because I'm a data person, but I don't have hard data on that. What I have noticed is I don't have to call down as many students, because if I just shoot them an announcement or a direct message through the Canvas page, they're more likely to respond to it. So we're actually going to try, in a normal spring, I would call every kid down who did not automatically qualify for their concurrent class and say, this is what you need to do. Have a little handout for them. Now I'm going to, okay, if you did not qualify in math, here's what you need to do. Here's your assignment. If you did not qualify in English, here's what you need to do. Here's, you know, all the little steps. So I'm really hopeful that, and I'm knocking on my desk right now, knocking on wood, that by the end of the school year, that I will have, my goal is 60% of my kids already having an S number and having their requirements. Like hopefully they've done a placement test. That's my goal. We'll see if it happens. But it'll be interesting to see being able to call them down. We also have an advisory period now during our day, and it's 40 minutes in length. So it's a good time that if I need to get a big group of kids, I can easily get them down during that time. They can come pick up stuff and they're not missing a class. That's the other thing, is a lot of kids don't want to miss class right now.
Yeah. I think your 60% is a great goal, because we do arena in the summer, and so they all change. So getting 100% is just not realistic.
Yeah, that's the hard thing with arena scheduling. So on Skyward, that's what we use. They open it up in August, and kids can change any class they want. They can add, drop, and we have tried to lock the concurrent classes so that kids can't change those, but then it becomes an issue if they have to drop them, then they have to come into the building. So I can't like put an actual roll together for the class until almost the day of, which makes it hard to keep track of all the kids who are changing their schedules. Are you really qualified? You know, you got a 12 on the ACT. I really don't think that Math 1050 is where you need to be right now. So we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Carmen, haven't you been using it too?
Yes. And what I found is that it made it possible. I mean, last year, think where we were at exactly at this time last year. And it made my life possible. I was able to just send this out to kids, and yeah, we pulled it off in the fall. It made it possible to pull off registration in the fall and to meet those deadlines. We wouldn't have been able to without this. It's been fabulous. And when somebody emails or calls and says, you know, what can I do? And I say, oh, well, guess what? There's a Canvas course. Just follow all these instructions. It's just great. Otherwise, I was trying to do it with them on the phone and, you know, walk them through things, and it was just it was just difficult. So
Have the kids been able to figure it out on their own, or do you have to
Nope.
send them some prompts
Nope.
to say, you know,
Nope.
here's the first, like, here's what you need to do to get rolling?
they've been able to figure it out. They're very well versed in Canvas at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the kids have been really good. The only thing I've had to talk a few parents through is they've said, well, this doesn't take me directly to the community college website. No, it's a tutorial so that you can do this. I would suggest having both windows open at the same time. Maybe I need to put that in my notes as well so that all the moms that are helping out can do that. But it's also nice having my own child having done concurrent, well, both my kids having done concurrent, that I can use their accounts as a little guinea pig. I can show that my daughter does not owe any tuition money. And so I can do that when I go through the Pay Plus, and I can show what my, you know, where my son's scores have been received. So yes, I know I'm invading their privacy, but
Oh, I do it to my kids all
we
the
don't show
time.
anything with an S number. Yeah, and I put a link in the chat, and Vicky suggested putting it on Canvas Commons. I will, and I'll just label it the Brighton Concurrent. Anybody that wants to use it is more than welcome to. I just copy it first, please, so things don't get changed. But other than that, I'm happy to share.
I've also got the version that we put together here at Slick. I'm just waiting on some videos, so.
And will you be
I mean,
putting that in
everything is
Commons as
completely
well,
done. We're
Becky?
just waiting on videos.
Okay. And then you'll just put that in Commons as well?
Yeah, I can share it with you now if you want, but we just, like I said, it doesn't have all the videos. I've got admissions uploaded, but he hasn't given me any of the other ones yet, so.
No.
We'll wait on videos. Yeah.
Well, maybe too, for those who will watch this later. So what we've done is we were inspired by what Lisa put together. And so we've been working on building something similar that has like the core foundational stuff that we'll keep updated. And then we can feed that out to the high schools, and then you guys can copy. And then you don't have to like worry about, well, did the admission process change? If it did, do I need to update all my instructions? Just trying to keep some of that base stuff updated so you don't have to worry about it, and you can just plug it right into your Canvas courses. So that's and it was all inspired by you, Lisa, and what you've done there with the Canvas course. So
Well, thank you. It was really just a way. I had so much anxiety last spring that it was just all the concurrent was going to fall apart. So this was my way of taking some control and making sure that I could still do my job in the fall. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Does anyone have any questions for Lisa before we let her get back to her real job? Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Appreciate those of you who joined us.